wanted to do a quick video talking about like fixer sprays, fixer water sprays versus makeup setting sprays. I think there's a lot of confusion between these two, especially down to MAC's Fix Plus, which is this wee guy here, which many people believe is a setting spray, but it's not. It's actually more of a botanical water spray, but I'll go into that in a second. So the two main difference between these is essentially the water sprays. You could call them fix sprays, but they're more just like refreshener sprays, even though MAC's is called Fix Plus. It's essentially water infused with like vitamins and minerals and other botanical extracts that help feed your skin and refresh your skin and keep it moist and you know, feeling comfortable throughout the day. As setting sprays, so I have a couple of them here. These guys are more like basically like a hairspray but for your makeup. So what they do is they form a film that sets over your skin or over your makeup to stop the breakdown of your foundation and all that stuff underneath, and also to help stop, you can also use them sometimes underneath makeup to help stop oil and stuff getting through. So I'll start off with the Fix Plus by MAC, which is the main source of the confusion, I think. So this is, like I said, a botanical water spray. MAC actually call it an aqua spritz of vitamins and minerals. So it's basically a water spray that has, like I said, botanical extracts of vitamins and minerals. It has antioxidants, stuff like that in it that's actually really good for the skin, and it does feed the skin, and it's good for soothing irritated skin and stuff like that. The main use you'd have for this would be to spritz onto your face before you moisturize, so that there's actually moisture to trap in onto the skin. So it's really good for that. I often use it as a toner. You can use it after your cleanser just to take off some of the extra cleanser, and then use a little cotton pad to wipe it off. I use it as a refreshener throughout the day. Now another thing people say is that it fixes your makeup. Now it does not set your makeup as in make it last longer. It just doesn't, it simply doesn't have the ingredients for that. What it does is that it can set the makeup to make it look set into the skin. And the easiest way I can think of to do that, or to explain that, is to say, you know the way sometimes when you do your makeup and you pop on, say, powder especially, and it can just look a little bit powdery, a little bit obvious for an hour or two, until maybe your own moisture and natural oils start to slightly move, not that it totally wrecks the makeup, but that it's just kind of helps to mix in a little bit with the powder and makes it look a little bit more skin-like and a little bit more or less obvious on the skin. Well, if you spritz your face with, like, say, the Fix Plus straight after applying your makeup, that kind of does that immediately for you. So it takes away powdery look. It just makes your makeup look a little bit more dewy, a little bit more natural, a little bit more skin-like. And that's one of the main things of this. Now this is great for anyone with dry skin who wants to infuse some moisture onto their skin throughout the day, but they have makeup on. So obviously you can't really put moisturizer on over your makeup, but you can still spritz it with this kind of thing. And it's great for like sunburned skin and any of that kind of thing. Now I think it has some kind of a placebo effect on people, because many people say, oh no, I've used it over my makeup and it does make it last longer, blah blah blah. I promise you there's no like physical way this can actually make your makeup last longer, other than it can make it look better. So that might be a reason why you think that it's making it last longer, particularly if you have dry or flaky skin. This can sometimes be a little bit too much if you have very oily skin, because it's just basically water mixing in with makeup that's already starting to be broken down by oil, so it might not be very suitable for that. But either way, it's a totally ace product. I absolutely adore this stuff, and I use it nearly on a daily basis on myself, and I use it on clients all the time, so it's something that I highly recommend. Now something else similar to that would be like the Avene thermal water, or like the Vichy one, or you know, there's loads of different brands that just do these water sprays. So thermal water is slightly different in that it's never met air in our atmosphere. It comes from deep down in springs, really far underground, and it has like vitamins and minerals that come from the rock and stuff that it's living in down in those springs. So it's not quite as full of the botanical extracts now that Fix Plus is, but it still has stuff in it that's good for the skin. It is good for soothing irritated skin. It's good for cooling you down on a warm day. Essentially it's very, very similar, just a little bit different. This has antioxidants and a few more feeding ingredients in it, whereas this is more soothing and anti-irritating and all that kind of stuff. So it's still a really good product. It's still practically use it in the same way. Still use it to make my makeup just settle into the skin a bit better, to cool myself down if I'm like working long, or if by any chance it's a warm day. Great for popping on before your moisturizer, for using after cleaning your face to essentially tone it. So I love this. This comes out in a finer mist than the Fix Plus. So sometimes it just depends on my mood. And I also use these on my hair as well to kind of give it a bit of a refreshener throughout the day. Now, on the flip side of things, these are the makeup setting sprays, which like I said are basically like hairspray for your makeup. So I have the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. This is one I've had for years, and I'm very well used to, and I really like it, and I come back to it again and again. And then this one is the Model in a Bottle, which I'm a little bit newer to, but I still really like it, and it works quite well. Now both of these would have alcohol in them, I'm pretty sure. This one does anyhow, and so you have to be careful if you're very sensitive. Some of these might not be suitable. This one here in particular, the Model in the bottle, you can get it for sensitive skin, so that's one that's really good. So what these will do essentially is form a film. Like, you'd spray them over your makeup once it's finished, and they will form like an imperceptible film, but it's going to be there. It's going to be, or perceivable, whatever the right word is, it's going to be there to set your makeup in place and to stop, like I said, the breakdown of your makeup underneath. Now, will eventually happen. It'll just prolong the length of your makeup. So one thing I found with these is that less is more. If you put on too much, it's basically putting too much liquid on your face, so it will end up breaking down your makeup. So you need to be careful not to spray too much. You just need a very light mist. What does it say? With this guy it says to spray 20 to 16 inches or 40 centimeters away from the face with your eyes closed, and you know, let that set. And this one virtually says the same thing, 10 to 12 inches. So you want to make sure it doesn't get into the eyes, because like I said, they have like parabens or alcohol or different perfume. This one has perfume in it, so you have to be careful to check the ingredients in case you are very sensitive. But like I said, the Model in a Bottle does come with a sensitive lotion. Now these can work on all skin types. This one here, the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix, I find it gives a bit of a dewy finish to the skin. So I like to use this on anyone who has slightly drier or dehydrated, or maybe older skins, or if you're suffering from the effects of like air conditioning and stuff like that. Whereas this one here, the Model in the Bottle one, this particular one is the matte finish. So this is really good for anyone who wants more of a matte look, who doesn't want to look dewy or have that kind of sheen to their skin. Great for anyone maybe slightly more oily skin, stuff like that. Now you don't have to be oily to use them, because you can be dry skinned. It shouldn't dry your skin out too much as long as you've prepped your skin well underneath your foundation and stuff like that. Now other people I've heard swear that these work perfectly if you use them before you even apply your makeup. I think I saw even Wayne Goss of Goss Makeup Artist say that before. Now I think it depends on your skin type, depends on your skin, what your skin's needs. So I'd say it's a case by case basis. I would say if you have a setting spray, try it in a few different ways. So maybe try it before your makeup and then apply your makeup afterwards, or else maybe apply your foundation and then set this in between the foundation or the powder, or else do it like a lot of many other people do, and I often do, is just do your whole makeup and then set it and let it be the very last step in the makeup process. So it's just a case of seeing which works best for you. So I hope that'll have cleared up that thing a little bit for some people who were a bit confused about it. I know many of you will know your setting sprays from your botanical sprays, but there's a lot of people out there who don't, so that should go a little bit anyhow towards explaining that. And there are loads of different brands who do them, so if you go into any pharmacy or Boots, you'll find many of those water sprays, whereas the makeup setting sprays are a little bit more specialist in that it's more makeup companies, like professional makeup companies. The Model in the Bottle is a particular company just for this. Makeup Forever is slightly more of a professional makeup company, but you can still get it in Sephora and stuff like that. Then there's more professional ones like Kryolan and Ben Nye. They will do setting sprays that are a bit more hardcore for like theatrical makeup, or you can just get the normal ones for daytime, and they also do the ones for matte skin, or for a matte finish or for a dewy finish. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks a million for watching, guys, and I'll chat to you all really soon. So long, guys.